Bonjour, Mardi Jester here, and welcome back to Fortnite Score War. In this episode, I make my probably final great push in the whole Score War, and we'll see what happens from here. But, without further ado, let's begin. To be fair, I do actually try to get some challenges done in the next episode, but I don't actually succeed, so this is the last episode that actually gains me points, so to speak. So, if nobody does worse than me, then I'll have done everything that I can, and I'm just going to have to accept defeat. That's really all there is to it. Whoever does end up winning, if it's not me, I'll grudgingly respect their skill, and I'll just try to move past it, you know? I mean, it stings, but that's life. You can't win them all. So, I grab the assault rifle and a set of chug splashes here, and then I move up here and grab a big pot. Excuse me. Then I look around here and see what I can see. The challenge... Oh. I don't actually know what challenge I get done here, because even though I checked through the footage, I could never find that information out. I believe I lose at the end, but before the challenges even pop up, I save the clip and move on. So, this isn't the only one like this. The last clip in the episode before the outro has this exact same distinction. So, alright. We'll see what happens. I obviously get something done here because I save the clip. But for the life of me, I can't really remember, because it's been 2 years ago at this point. As a matter of fact, it's been 2 years ago, 5 days ago. Well, almost 5 days ago. It likes a few hours being 5 days ago. So, yeah. Needless to say, this is a pretty old clip. And if you're tired of content this outdated, don't worry. If my point of view was anything to judge by, you don't have to worry about it for too much longer, because pretty much every one of us is going to get like 5 or 6 episodes at this point, because it's kinda hard to balance out everyone in a 100-day period, especially with all of us not playing daily, so to speak. So, essentially, what this tournament really comes down to is all of us are competing simultaneously, and trying to get our challenges done and submitted. And these submissions are on a first-come, first-serve basis. So the quicker we get these done, the sooner we can send our results up to the referee, and the sooner we can get that point for ourselves. And if we're even a split second behind our competitor, they get the point instead. So that's how this tournament is run. In those cases where we show off progress in these challenges, that is a score category called a kill steal. Basically, what happens is when we do the kill steal, our opponent does not get the point. We do. So it's like we're taking credit for a partially completed challenge on their side. So, yeah. Alright. So, unlike the last clip, this time I actually know what I'm going to be getting done, and it'll be my first point of the day. So, the challenges that I go for are to collect bars and earn weapon specialist accolades. The one that I get the point on is the weapon specialist accolades. That nets me the first of a mysterious metal, or the first piece of a mysterious metal called Beskar, which I didn't really know the significance of until I was paid a visit by a mysterious masked stranger who demanded that I hand it over. From there, things got a little bit messy, so to speak. And I learned from that experience that I should not underestimate the lengths that somebody like that will go to get what they want. Because, to put it lightly, I was beaten senseless, and he took the Beskar and just went on his merry way. So I never did get to see exactly what was so significant about it. But if he wanted it, it must have had some value, either monetary or as some sort of raw material. I really don't know which it was. But he wanted it for some reason. So, yeah. Alright. So, the Mandalorian is a shoot-on-sight type of character, in that he will shoot anyone he sees on sight. He and apparently Ruckus fall into this same category, because in one of the rounds, the poor mysterious stranger, Mirage, he was beaten by Ruckus a couple of times, and I had the pleasure of seeing that in the kill feed while I was going about my own challenges. So, yeah. He's powerful, but he's not almighty. He does have his limits. Now, if only I had found those, I would have been okay, and I would have still had some Beskar to my name. But since I couldn't find it before he had taken me out, Um, yeah. I think you can see where I was going with that. So, I'm going to make a quick pit stop at the pizza pit to do some preparations of sorts, I guess you could say. You'll see what I mean here in a little bit. This is a retake of a previous line, because I did not really do any justice with this. I essentially went a little bit too far over the transition, and I had to retake this. So yeah, that's that's my story in a nutshell. So now it looks like I'm heading back to Colossal Coliseum, or a little bit past. I'm not entirely sure what that blue mark is marking, because it's been too long since I've played since I've recorded this. So yeah. Truth be told, it's been too long since I've reviewed this. So yeah, that's really all you really need to know on that matter. I take on this guy and try to take him out, but what I end up doing instead is getting the accolade just about as soon as I died. Onwards to the next round. Alrighty. After having attained my 8th point, I make a bigger effort to get the collect bars mission done. So, I go down to the sheriff's department, or sheriff's office, or whatever you would want to call it, and take a bounty from our good friend, whatever his name is, I forget. He's a rather ghostly fellow, according to the in-game description. I believe it was Deadfire, actually. So, oh right, I also steal from his safe. There are points in the season where different things would net you the most money. At one point, that happened to be bounties with a whopping 150 gold per completion. So, apparently, that late in the season, the bounties had gone up because the loopers were trying harder than ever to escape the loop. I don't know that for certain, but the one thing I do know is that 0 point was getting more and more unstable by the day, and it wouldn't be too much longer before the Zero Crisis finale begun. And that's when everything changed. That's when I finally got the one thing, my one ticket to escaping this miserable battlefield and getting back home to exact my vengeance on Zeta Beetle. And that happened to be the reality waves that thing was spitting out. So, you guys won't be seeing that, per se. You'll just be seeing, the grueling time that it takes to get to that point. However, I believe it's about time to clip it, or save it right now. And here we go. More, another continuation clip. Same challenge, basically. I collect bars. Or I suppose I should say, we collect bars. Because Great Gunner is there with me, fighting alongside me, and we're just basically doing this thing together. So, essentially, what this all boils down to is we eventually find somebody that we're going after, and it apparently seems to be the Mandalorian. I of course snag his jetpack because the jetpack is a really fast way of moving around the map. The only real thing is, the Mandalorian's jetpack is the one that holds the least fuel at a time. So, it really didn't amount to much when it came to travel in the long run. The only thing that I could really talk about this thing in a positive light is that it was fast and it had infinite fuel. So, as the fuel wasn't as there wasn't very much fuel at a time, I don't use it that much compared to the one that I use in well, one of my contemporaries, that is, use in Chapter 3, Season 2? I forget. It was during the big war against the IO. And to be honest, I'm glad those pests are gone. Because they were one of the biggest thorns in my side. So, yeah. I agree with the results of that, but where his motives are concerned, that's the questionable bit. Because his whole thing, as I've heard, was to take revenge on the IO for what they did to Zeta Beetle. And given my own vendetta against the Beetle, you can kind of see what I'm getting at here. He I don't really hold him in high regards for that, because why would he why would he just up and forget everything that Zeta Beetle did to him in order to take revenge for him? That doesn't make sense. Alrighty, so now we are in the next round, and that just so happens to come with the challenge to visit the Razor Crest. This clip is only about 40 seconds long, and it only really shows off this challenge. So, once I land, I go ahead and save the clip, and move on to the next one, which will happen just about right now. And in this one, probably a continuation from the last one, I finish off the challenge to collect bars, earning my semi-final point in this whole tournament. So, that would mean that at this point, I got 10 points, and in one of the next rounds, I earned my final 11th point. At this point, my only hope is that somebody did worse than me. Because, I'm going to be perfectly honest, 11 points is not great at all. So, yeah. I take out our bounty with a Dragon's Breath shotgun, and earn the final bars that I needed in order to get that challenge done. Alrighty, this is my final point right here. This round in particular gets me my last point. Or at least my last confirmed point. This one is distance traveled swimming. Yeah. I end things off with probably the least impressive challenge in the whole thing. So, yeah. That's that bit taken care of, I think. So I just swim around here, and eventually Maven pops up, or Mave, not Maven. Completely different people. Anyway, she pops up with the challenge complete, and I move forward with the next clip. I wonder if you've seen me in this situation before. So, essentially what's going on here is I am in late game, and I am trying to see how far I can go before I get taken out. Because one of the things that could count in our favor, should there be a tie, are wins. So, if I tie with any of the other competitors, there would be a tiebreaker to decide who came out on top, and who was and who is worse. Well, that seems to be about it for this round. Join me in the next one when I place top 10, deal damage, and search chests and ammo boxes. In the meantime though, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Until then, au revoir mes amis.